So we were discussing the layout of formal invitations and formal replies, and I told you, having discussed the format of a postcard, format of a formal invitation and reply, I told you that both formal replies and invitations can be laid out in the fashion of a letter, and that will be an informal letter. However, and I told you once again, I repeat, that in exam there may be a question which resembles an informal letter, but business letters, as I've already told you, are the only kind of letters that are there in the syllabus. We don't have any informal letters. So there may be a question which resembles an informal letter. However, that will not be an informal letter. It will either be an informal, it will be any one of these. It will be an informal invitation or an informal reply, right? And I repeat, formal replies and formal replies and formal invitations can also be laid out in the shape of a letter. But that will be an informal letter, but the attributes of a formal invitation and reply, the use of formal language, the use of present indefinite has to be stuck to. In case of an informal letter, in case of an informal reply or an invitation, I have the liberty of using multiple of a vast array of tenses. I can use different tenses to express myself. The language will be informal. But as compared to an informal letter, an informal reply, or rather say informal invitation / reply, if you compare the two, then informal invitation and reply will be brief. Alright, the salutation will carry name of the person, and therefore the subscription will invariably be yours sincerely. And this particular these two things in particular, salutation bearing name and subscription yours sincerely, will essentially be a part of a formal invitation, a formal reply drafted in the shape of a letter. This is one thing that has to be learned. This is where you learn the difference between yours faithfully and yours sincerely. So let's now compare. Whereas an informal letter will be extended, will be longish, will be lengthy, an informal reply or invitation will be very, very brief and to the point. And another important thing that needs a special mention here: the date of writing the letter, whether in the date of writing the invitation, whether it's a reply, the date of writing, whether it's an invitation or a reply, will not carry the year. It will not carry the year. It does not carry the year. Again, it's customary. This is what we learned. It's absolutely customary. This is what we've learned. It doesn't carry the year. So whereas an informal reply will be worded in the shape of an informal letter, informal reply invitation will be worded in the shape of an informal letter. Formal replies, therefore, become easier. The layout, the format of a formal replies and invitation therefore become easier to understand and internalize. They don't have any such particular of a letter, as you are already very well apprised with. So all these invitations, this formal invitation here and these two formal replies, that of acceptance and of declining the invitation, can be worded informally. I will use personal pronouns. I'm free to use personal pronouns. I'll be using different tenses. Of course, I'll use future tense. I can use present continuous. I can use future here. I can use present continuous tenses. That is what I do when I want to express when I want to express future. And this is in contrast to the way I express future in a formal setup. And the important thing is, I repeat, will be subscription will be yours sincerely, because the salutation carries name, and of course it will carry the writer's address at the top, just as we write the particulars in an informal letter. So this is what it is.